Welcome to Alert Tales, where we dive deep into the most gripping stories of real-life experiences. If you love tales that evoke emotion, spark conversation and connect us all, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community for more captivating stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. He's had a sudden change of heart and does want kids after all. 1 month married and 1 year post-vasectomy.
Everyone warned us against being child-free. We'd regret it, or someone would grow resentful eventually. I thought 15 years of being sure was enough confirmation that we were on the same page about being dinks our whole lives. When we sat down to look at houses, he dropped the bomb.
I think I do actually want to have kids.
And I laughed, because same. He agrees that we definitely wouldn't want a bio kid due to his genetic health issues and exposure to mutagens from work. So we've discussed our enthusiasm for adoption. Only thing we disagree with is age. He wants a baby, but I want to give the older kids a home. We will compromise on that later. He wants a daughter more than anything. I told him that gender is irrelevant for me. We would know who is right for us when the time comes. What made the difference for us wasn't reaching some age where we decided to stop being selfish or to listen to our biology. The difference comes from his prospects for a job that will absolutely transform our future into something secure, stable and comfortable, where we could buy a house and settle down the way our parents were able to. If you want to know why many millennials and Gen Z are choosing the child-free route, it's uncertainty. When you have stable housing, stable employment, etc., suddenly it's a lot easier to see yourself living for someone else and not just surviving for yourself. He will truly make a terrific father.
My wife is autistic and it is destroying our marriage. My wife is autistic and it is slowly destroying our marriage. Her autism was unknown to me while dating, being engaged, or even the earlier parts of our marriage, as she was very good at masking. I never knew. I really never knew until she stopped masking so heavily, and I realized so much of the person she presented as her never really was. I have never felt more alone, stuck, or stripped of my emotions. I think about who I am now versus who I was before, and all of my joy is gone. The emotional distance, the inability to be vulnerable, the arbitrary removal of just about all of our intimacy, constantly walking on eggshells, the gaslighting. I've listened to this person tell me she has suicidal thoughts, that I should find somebody else to fuck, that I should just leave her. And she says all of it so easily, like she always expected it to end up this way. That all relationships in her life are expected to be temporary. Living like this has felt like I've been left with all the pieces of her collateral damage to sift through and reconcile on my own. The internal conflict I feel about how to proceed with the remainder of my life is immense. All I ever wanted was her. I read an article online about neurodivergent relationships, and while they can work, unlike neurotypical relationships, each person will always be like two parallel lines moving in the same direction but never truly meet. This resonates so much with me because it describes this experience so well, but it is also devastating to realize how well it underscores the lifelong ramifications of a neurodivergent relationship. Edit way more comments than I expected. I'll try and respond where I can. Daughter is living with her much older boyfriend even after we did everything we could to end their relationship. Long story short, daughter, 16 at the time, met this man, 39 at the time, 2 years ago at a book launch. They started dating 3 months later in February 2023. She told us about her relationship in the summer of that year. We were obviously disgusted, tried reasoning with her, talking with the man, talking with our family, her friends and closest teachers, to try and reason with her themselves, contacted the police and lawyers for legal options, none. Tried limiting her communications, monitoring, managing where she goes, all failed. She moved in with him in June of this year after she graduated high school and turned 18. She's always been such a good kid. Great grades and behavior, sociable, hardworking. We taught her about safety and predators. We truly raised her the best we could. This whole thing has been such a hit in the gut. She started university this autumn, dentistry. She got her driving license this summer and he bought her a car. We still have a great relationship with her, talk daily and meet often, but I still worry about her every single day. At the very least, I know she has an IUD and only wants to get married at 25. This is just a vent, I guess. Sorry if I made any writing mistakes and thus some details are not clear. English isn't my mother tongue.
My husband doesn't know I'm about to divorce him. This has been my plan for 6 years. This is by far the craziest thing I've done, and I can't believe I suffered all these years staying with this man just so I can survive financially. The start of our marriage was wonderful. We had 2 babies. After the second pregnancy, he cheated on me with a very close family member. He gave me a lazy apology, and on top of that, he complained about my body. He also told me I was built like a refrigerator. Mind you, I was 4 months postpartum at the time. I secretly saw a family lawyer. To sum it up for you, I would be screwed leaving him. We only had $25,000, and that being split up is basically nothing for me. No marital properties, no car, I didn't have a job. Literally nothing. I was a stay-at-home mom. I applied for hundreds of jobs during the time and couldn't find employment anywhere, so leaving was a bad decision for me, financially speaking, especially with 2 small babies. Also, alimony and child support wasn't going to be enough for me to live off of or survive with 2 babies with. So I let him believe that I forgave him, and I continued being his wife. The very first time he cheated on me, it was with my cousin. Then he cheated again. He had a one-night stand with a random girl he met on a night out. I got so mad, I cheated back on him out of anger. Of course, he never found out I cheated. At least I'm smart about it, unlike him. During the time in our marriage, I worked on getting my independence back. My husband paid for my trade school. It was a very expensive program, but he paid for everything. We moved and we bought a house with his income. He grew his money too during all this time, so he made far more money now than he did when I originally wanted to leave him. I started working recently. I have a career now. I'm so happy about that. I haven't filed for divorce yet. He has no idea of my plans. I'm excited. I finally get to leave him after 6, almost 7 years. Now I can walk away with at least $200,000, and we have marital assets now, like the house and the car he also paid off for me. Now I have my education and my own career. I've been working on my weight loss. I lost 66 pounds. He paid for my tirzepatide. I had a breast reduction and a breast lift. I look amazing. I don't doubt I'll probably get remarried eventually. Everything in my life is finally set and going the right way. ETA laughing at the people mad at me for cheating back on him. What did you expect to happen? I stay loyal to my husband while he fucks other girls? LOL, you guys think I'm going to just go without sex for almost a decade? Hilarious.
A guy was going to fight my dad in a road rage incident and didn't see me in the passenger seat. His behavior changed real quick once I got out of the car and charged him. We were on a narrow street, so only one car could pass at a time. Suddenly a car tries to exit a parking lot and go in our direction. She stops and is blocking our path. We can't go back as we would need to reverse the whole length of the street. Then this guy comes out from the parking lot on foot and asks if there is a problem here. My dad assumed he was some onlooker trying to see if everything is okay, so he got out of the car and explains the situation. Then this guy goes over to the car that is blocking our way, tells the woman to not move, and then comes over to my dad and asks him, "What are you going to do about it?" Turns out it's the brother of the woman in the car blocking our way. My dad is standing in a defensive position with his car door in between him and this guy. Meanwhile, I'm in the front seat just in shock that this is happening. This guy is taller than my dad, so he crouches by a bit, puts his hand on his knees and looks at my dad with this serious look on his stupid face as if to say, "You can't do anything." At this point, I can't believe this is happening and lower my head in disbelief. That's when I hear a bang, and I thought that this guy hit my dad. This primal anger came over me, and I quickly exit the car and start yelling at this dude. He was skinny but tall. I was taller than him. I weigh 108 kilograms, 238 pounds, and have been going to the gym for the past year. This guy went from trying to fight to immediately backing up as I started charging him while yelling. He started explaining himself to me while walking backwards, like I was his teacher and he was in trouble. Started telling me that my dad swore at his sister and that he was defending her. It was hilarious that he was lying to me, because I was right there and my dad never swore. My dad ran over and stopped me from going any further and kept telling me to calm down as this guy was walking away from us. I saw this look of fear in his face when I got out and started yelling. I am a very introverted and peaceful person. I don't think I've scared anyone before this point. This guy was 100% looking to fight my dad. That bang I heard was him kicking the car door. Luckily he didn't hit or injure my dad. I'm glad I was there. And the lady blocking our way also backed up once I got out, although she was screaming profanity at us the whole time. After that we just got in the car and drove off. Edit, thank you all so much. I was feeling really anxious and kind of bad for what happened, but now I feel much better after reading so many positive replies. I obviously still wish that it never happened, but it did, and I'm glad that it played out like this, and it didn't end up worse. Hope you all never get to meet a person like that.